Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. Today we have some Dead City Season 2 behind the scenes first look, and just holy crap, this behind the scenes thing came with so much new footage, confirming theories, confirming rumors and everything. And I can, very firmly stand by this, that this is the best that The Walking Dead has looked in years, just with everything that's been going on with Daryl Dixon, everything that's people were so kind of upset and annoyed or whatever with how The Ones Who Live ended, with our other spinoffs that have kind of failed or just didn't live up to the hype or just slowly broke down over time. I can safely say that I think this is coming to the point where this could redeem The Walking Dead. But we will have to wait and see, because there's always that chance too that just one little piece of the story doesn't work, or it just kind of sends it all tumbling down, or just whatever. But we got our first little behind the scenes look here today, and it looks so good. So I just wanted to break it down for you guys, talk about it, and really point out some of these frames that I grabbed that's confirmed some things I had been saying for months. And so I'm just really excited about this, and excited that The Walking Dead has actually got me excited again. I mean, it's just ridiculous how bad some of Daryl Dixon was, how ridiculous some of the story was, how it started as one thing, it's turned into something else. Fear the Walking Dead just slowly over time became some of the worst Walking Dead content that there was. World Beyond was okay. There were some missed opportunities with that show too. And not only that, we had the big return of Rick Grimes last year, and it started off super strong, but just that last episode, it really kind of let people down. And there's a whole nother video I'm going to do about that. It's kind of a rewrite in a sense of my own making. But this one, let's break down these images that I grabbed. This first one, we just have Herschel and Maggie out in the wild, and I think they're on a hunting trip, because this next season they've really indicated that they're going to have a large story arc for Herschel and the turn that he's going to make, and just the complicated relationship that he has with his mom. And just there's so much going on there. There's so much going on with Negan and everything that he's going through, everything that he's trying to kind of, I guess, hold the peace or whatever. So just right there, even though I've never been a big fan of Herschel, and we've had a couple different actors play him at this point, but this next little bit that they have set up for him, it looks like they could actually kind of make him interesting and give him a story with a little bit more context and just a little bit more meaning and everything. So I'm really excited to see just how they break that down and what they do to bring that to life. This next picture though, just another shot of Herschel. We can see that Herschel is very much the loner type. He is not social. He's not a happy kid by any means. He's probably filled with anxiety and just having the relationship that he does with his mom, and just noticing over the years that she never really, I guess, paid attention to him the way that he would have liked, and being obsessed with Negan, and just not being able to let go of the past. And so I can see that within this trailer, just a little bit of footage that we got, that this really screwed him up and made him have this kind of weird relationship with his mom, where he doesn't trust her for the most part, and he doesn't want to be around her. So they just have a very fractured relationship. Then we just got a shot of Logan Kim, the actor who is playing Herschel, and just saying how Negan is the root of all evil, the start of all their problems and everything. Then we just got another shot. This is one we've seen in multiple trailers, where he is practicing knife throwing. It's a skill that he's picked up on. Maggie's kind of nagged him on a little bit to pick up and be more prepared for things, considering what happened last season. Then we got this shot, which is interesting. We'll get into a few more frames later into it, but this line that he says, "Get on your knees." So we're going to see probably flashes of that old Negan. Whether or not he goes full Negan, that's just been like the biggest question for this next season, considering all the things kind of pointing in that direction, being put in this position again and everything, being in charge of people. So it should be fun to see how that all works out for him. And this right here, this confirms it. And Eli Journe, who is kind of doing a little bit of narrating during the behind the scenes, this confirms it. Lucille 2.0, or whatever he ends up calling it, is a gift from Croat.
I knew it!
I had been theorizing this for months, ever since we got that first bit of footage, I guess last year or so, where we saw Negan with this new bat, this new Lucille, and it is confirmed in this that Croat gives it to him, because Eli Journe, the writer, producer, creator, whatever you want to call him, he confirms it by flat out saying it. So it was another funny thing too, because Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan, said how that he has such an attachment to this bat. I think he had mentioned it before back in the day too, but he would not let anybody else touch it. Like in between scenes, probably PAs and other assistants and whatnot would be like, "Hey, can I take this off your hands? You're not filming anymore. You know, we got some downtime." He'd be like, "Nah, I'm gonna hold on to it." So much so that Jeffrey Dean Morgan actually reveals that he has a Lucille tattoo now. So that's pretty cool too. And so it's very interesting to see, how far they'll go with it. How far will he go down that rabbit hole again, being that Negan, or just will there be some baggage to come along with it? That we can also kind of confirm with one of the shots I'm going to show you, and it also confirms a rumor that I did a video about probably a couple of months ago at this point. But moving on, and this is that frame actually, we see that Jeffrey Dean Morgan's real life wife is going to come back and play Lucille again, and clearly this will be a hallucination because I imagine everything that's going on, he's going to be dealing with a lot of emotional baggage and just trauma from losing his wife and everything and trying to put her memory to rest. And then Croat comes at him with this new Lucille. So I imagine it brings a lot up for him because JDM actually says during this behind the scenes look that there was a lot of stuff that was hard to do. And I imagine he's kind of pointing at this kind of stuff. So a lot of story and development here, and a lot of theories and everything kind of confirmed. I'm surprised they didn't try to, keep this off of our screens and wait until it actually was on the episode, but seems to be kind of the trend there where some of these things anymore, they don't try to hide them because one way or another people are going to find out. And that kind of, points at the fact that there are so many people out there, paparazzi or whatnot, that make it their job to find this stuff out early, and that's how I do some of the videos I do. But moving on to the next one, we have a shot here of Negan actually taking someone out. So this is probably a continuation of that frame earlier where he tells someone to get on their knees because we see this just big old splatter of blood pop up. So I don't know if it's going to be a walker or an actual person, or I imagine Negan being forced into this will probably have to prove it one way or another, and it's probably in the means of having to put someone down with the new Lucille kind of to christen it and everything, because I imagine there's some weird sick thing that Croat wants him to do to prove his loyalty. And then they go into how they're going to go into northern Manhattan or northern New York and everything, and it's run by 3 different groups. So we get a few shots here of just these no bad looking kind of people, all decked out in robes, very kind of primitive in a sense. And we get this dude that we saw in the trailer who grabs the new Lucille and gets himself electrocuted. Then we get a shot of Kim Coates here, and we got a few guys around them kind of in medieval chest plates and everything, medieval protective armor mixed with modern leather or whatever. So probably a vast mixture of warrior types or just these communities or these groups or whatever. Then we get another shot of the ring, the gladiator ring. This is clearly their form of entertainment, sending people up against walkers or walker against walkers, or how that works, because I don't imagine walkers are going to be very interested in attacking each other. The only time we saw that was within Daryl Dixon. That's because they were altered. They were these variants that they were trying to create. And honestly, I think they're probably going to abandon that, along with so much, considering just the mess that Daryl Dixon is. But I won't get into that again, because pretty much thinking of that show just kind of makes me mad, kind of makes me annoyed, considering it started out trying to bring Rick home, and now it's just like, well, we're just going to throw Daryl all over the world, because I guess they have plans to throw him in Egypt and Iceland and just all these random ass places. Then we get a shot of one of our new cast members, Dasha Polanco, who is playing Narvas. This is someone that Maggie comes up against. She's clearly a new Babylon deputy or marshal that is teamed up with Pearlie there. And because we saw at the end of last season where Pearlie comes home and he says that Negan's dead, the woman in charge clearly doesn't buy it and wants to go after them, I imagine, going into New York and everything. So we have this new marshal, considering the other 2 that were with him last year got themselves killed. But she's pretty famous for her role in Orange is the New Black. And Lauren Cohan says that her and this character don't get along like at all, like they come to odds or whatever. But we see in this shot where she actually saves Maggie in this weird pit kind of thing they got going on with Maggie and Jenny. This is the first we've seen of Jenny here for a minute, but they are in this kind of pit thing where like they have to fight their way out. They have to prove themselves, or this is some form of punishment. There's just a lot of weird things going on because I think this leader of New Babylon is kind of sadistic and kind of a straight up bitch. So we'll see what they do with her. I imagine she will get hers, considering being this type of person never really ends well for anybody. Then we get another shot of Kim Coates. I want to say, considering all the different shots that we've gotten of New York lighting up, this is probably all of them coming out of that building and seeing it actually happen. Then we get another shot of Negan here, just talking to Dama about how he's their best shot at, bringing order to the island of Manhattan. Then we get this shot. This is something where this is clearly Maggie coming to Negan for help because he's just flat out says, I can't help you. I can barely help myself. And we get kind of something that we haven't really seen before. We've seen a handful of kid walkers, but we have like a whole hospital full of them. It looks like, these are kids that were probably left behind or died of natural causes or what have you during the fall. And then we have Negan working his way through that, trying to avoid touching them or everything, because it looks like they're kind of in this sleep state or whatever. Like they haven't been moved for a while. They've just kind of got frozen there or whatever. But this is something we haven't seen a lot of. We haven't seen a lot of kid walkers. The only kid walker aside from like Sophia, ones that we've seen up close. We saw the walker that was stuck in the fence during the last season of the regular Walking Dead show. That was actually Gus. That was Jeffrey D. Morgan's kid. And other than that, I don't think we've seen too many actual kid walkers. So we got like a whole little mini horde of them there. So I thought that was kind of crazy and just very, good on them that they're kind of expanding and getting back into the walkers, because I feel like the walkers aren't the threat they used to be. But, they've been living in this world for over a decade now. So they've kind of learned to, navigate them and deal with them and whatnot. But I just thought that was so cool. Then we get the shots. This is something we did see in the trailer 2, or one of the last couple of trailers, where Maggie's up in this skyrise and she's dealing with walkers, and then this glass floor starts to crack under her, and she's many stories up above the ground. And so she gets herself into a situation there. And along with that too, Lauren Cohan actually directs an episode this season, just like Danai Gurira directed one in The Ones Who Live. So it should be interesting to see what direction she takes it versus our regular producers and directors and whatnot, and just what she adds to that role. So it should be fun, and to see which episode it is, I'm not sure yet, but I don't think that's actually been revealed, but we'll probably find out soon. Then we get a shot of Herschel here up against this walker with this mask on his face. It looks like it has spikes coming out of it. So Herschel's probably going to get himself into some shit, because I believe he comes up against that bear that we saw in the trailer too. But along with that, we have a shot here of Negan. Almost look like he's having a breakdown. I think that Lucille's actually laying there in the background, because this is probably that scene that we've seen in the trailers where he walks into that kind of cage-looking area I'm sure he's being held in, and throwing the Lucille against the wall, because it probably brings up a lot for him. And here is the famous bear. Look like it's gone up against a few things over time, with its eye scarred over like that, and various other scars kind of sitting there on its face. But it was... nonetheless, that behind the scenes thing just got me so hyped for this next season. I'm so ready to see how this plays out, who might show up, because there's always a possibility. I don't think we're going to get it, but you just never know. But I'm so excited for this next season of Dead City. It's got me just so pumped for Walking Dead like I haven't been for so long, because I know I probably mentioned this too much, but just Daryl Dixon was such a huge disappointment. I didn't care for that. The story that they're going with makes zero fucking sense, and just it's very half-ass, and Norman hyping it up like he did did not live up to that hype one bit. It was just so stupid. I couldn't stand it, and I hope they do a better job of season 3, but I feel like with the leaked photos that we've seen and everything, the leaked videos, they're just going to take the story and basically repeat it, but just flip roles, where Carol's going to get taken and Daryl's going to have to go find her. And it's so irritating that that show seems to be taking priority, because I mentioned this in a couple of videos, and I've done a video around it, where Eli Journay is apparently leaving and not going to be a part of Dead City, I believe, after season 3. But Hopefully that's not true, but I think it is, and hopefully he doesn't take his vision with him, that they can get someone in there that can kind of keep his vision going and not butcher it to shit like we've seen with so many other projects over the years. But anyways, guys, that's just my breakdown and my general excitement for this next season. Just totally pumped for it. But if you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed my thoughts, my breakdown, all of that, please be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing, come back for more content just like this, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.